Hey guys, it's Nicholas here from upgradeToLife.com and welcome to this new quote of the week video. And with that, let's just actually dive right in and let's just talk about this week's quote. So Neville said, "All you can possibly need or desire is already yours. You need no helper to give it to you. It is yours now. Call your desire into being by imagining and feeling your wish fulfilled. As the end is accepted, you become totally indifferent as to possible failure, for acceptance of the end wills the means to that end." Key point, but in just a second I will explain this in more detail. When you emerge from the moment of prayer, it is as though you were shown the happy and successful end of a play, although you were not shown how that end was achieved. However, having witnessed the end, regardless of any anticlimactic sequence, you remain calm and secure in the knowledge that the end has been perfectly defined. Okay, so I want us to talk about this quote because in my opinion that also brings together a lot of important key aspects such as going to the end, not worrying about the how, and things like that, and that the desire is already yours. So this is a very holistic quote in my opinion with a lot of relevant points to talk about. So let's just dive right in. Right, first of all, Neville starts off with saying all you can possibly need or desire is already yours. Right? You need no helper to give it to you. Why is this the case? We have to go back. We have to go a little bit deeper in understanding to make this clear to us. Right? All we can possibly need and desire is yours. So it is not yours as, you as the person, but it is yours when you understand more about who you truly are, what the true nature of your being is, when you understand that you are this I am, you are this infinite power, you are this infinite awareness, aka consciousness, in which all potential, all possibilities lie. And you're simply selecting, you're simply choosing, basically. All states, all possibilities, all realities are already made, already existent, and you shift, right? But if you don't do this consciously, then you will always remain on the current images that you see, on the current, state that you're in, and you entertain that. But as soon as you take your attention, as soon as you take your focus, your imagination away from what is, and you put something new into the projector slide, aka, right, something new into the, something new into your awareness, right? You fill up your awareness, you fill up your consciousness with new content, then this becomes visible in your world, right? But it's not that you created that, you simply made it manifest by placing your awareness, by placing your attention, by imagining and putting your focus on that state. So this became natural, and then it showed up. But it is already existent, it is already within you. This is why Neville is saying, all you can possibly need or desire is already yours. All of these states, right, be it health, be it financial abundance, having a successful business, having a better job, having the relationship you want, being in a relationship, right, being loved, being wanted. All of these states that you can think of, that you can imagine, that you can desire, right, they exist. If this would not be the case, you couldn't even be conscious of them in the first place. So alone the fact that you can be conscious of the wish fulfilled does indicate that this does exist. Okay, so the desire is already yours. That is the key point. We have to understand that it does exist, it is available, yet the only thing is that it is not manifested, obviously, because currently we are not in alignment with it. Currently we are not in the state of having it, of being it, but it is still already within us. All right? And then the awesome thing is that you need no helper to give it to you. Right, so you do not need to walk around and find someone, a person, a institution, whatever, to help you, to give you your desire, because you can give it yourself, because you have imagination, right? You can determine where you place your awareness at, aka what you imagine, right? Simply a shift in your awareness. So you need no helper, right? You yourself can place your awareness on having achieved X, Y, and Z, on already now being the version of yourself X, Y, and Z that has achieved the goal, that is the ideal version of yourself. And when you do that, when someone is needed to aid the birth of that desire, they will come into your experience. They will automatically do whatever is necessary. But it's not that you need to seek for other people. It's not that you seek for help. You can manifest by yourself. You have the same infinite power that we all share, which is this imagination, which is this consciousness, this awareness that you have access to, because it is your true nature. Okay? So call your desires. Now Neville speaking about how can we manifest them. So we first of all covered that the desire, the possibility, these states where we experience the wish fulfilled, that does already exist. And so the question then is left, okay, how can we make it visible? How can we make it tangible? How can we make this our lived experience, right? So call your desires into being by imagining and feeling your wish fulfilled, okay? How do we do that? Very simple. We ask ourselves, okay, this is my desire. I define it. I want to be this. I want to be that. I want to have this. I want to have that. So what would imply that I have this? Right? What would change in my life if I would already be this version? What would change in my life, in my day-to-day life, if I would already have this desire present in my life, that this is natural to me? So what we do with that question and with this approach is that we imagine the wish fulfilled so that this becomes natural, right? If you imagine the wish itself, the money itself, it sometimes can still, keep the desire at the distance and keep it separate because we just focus on all that, the desire stuff. But if we go after we have already achieved it, our day-to-day life now changed. So what is different? We pick something out of our life. We ask, what would friends say? What would family say? So we let them congratulate us. Can be anything, but we internally experience that as fulfilled. We bathe ourselves in the wish fulfilled, right? And remember, it only matters where you stand within. So if you internally experience the wish fulfilled, that is natural for you. That is, certain to you. You know it. That is who you are right now, and that is who you internally are. Then the external world reflects that. It only can confirm. So there's nothing to wait, right? So we call the desires into manifestation, basically. We bring them from the invisible, from the unseen to the seen, to the manifested by assuming that state, by occupying that state, by experiencing what it would be like if we would already be that. Okay? Then it becomes natural, and then it becomes our nature. And we only get who we are, what our nature is, not what we want, not what we desire. So that's why we have to make it natural. Okay? And then as the end is accepted, this is a key point right now. And when that end is accepted, when you experience that, when this inner knowing is established, right? When you start to have faith because you experienced it, you heard the word, you heard the congratulation, you saw, you visualized it, it became natural to you, you become totally indifferent as to possible failure, right? Simply, then it's not that you ignore your circumstances, that you become delusional in that sense, but it's just that they will seem unnatural to you. Your current circumstances might still be there, but they will seem a little bit old. They will seem a little bit like not you any longer. If someone goes from poverty and they internally imagine that they're financially stable, they hear their family congratulate you on, wow, like you've done it. That's it. How have you done this? Can you also show us? To imply that they are now financially stable, for example. Then when you do this and this becomes natural, the external circumstances might still be for a while, red numbers on the bank account, having to pay bills and all of that stuff. But just how they react towards this changed. No more triggers, no more doubts, no more fears, right? They become just indifferent. They become just, I don't really care what is going on. I know who I am. I know what I experienced. I know what is now natural and true for me. But it's not a faking and acting as if it's really coming from that new internal state that you have shifted into. And so you can check in with yourself if you've actually moved your states, because you see that your reactions change. You see that your view on the world changes, that your mood changes, and that your actions changes, right? For acceptance of the end wills the means to that end. And I do have a dedicated video to this. It's a little bit older, but I will still link it above. It's called Acceptance of the End Wills the Means. The end is where we begin. Because, when we think chronologically, then of course it doesn't make sense to go to the end. It would make sense to do step A, then to step B, then step C, and so on. But if we think in terms of imagination, in terms of awareness, there's nothing to wait. We can instantly occupy, instantly identify, instantly assume the end state, even though there is no proof, even though there is no evidence. Like Neville said, persistent assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. So if you make that end state, if you make that end assumption natural, that carries the means to manifestation with itself, right? Let the state lead. I also do have a video on this. I will link it above right now. Let the state lead, right? Let the end state lead. When this is natural, this state has all the means necessary to express itself, to manifest. You don't have to do anything or nitpick the way, nitpick the how. And then there's the second part of this quote, okay? When you emerge from the moment of prayer, meaning when you come out of your imaginal scene, right? Prayer is just recognizing yourself to already be who you want to be. That is what praying means. I also do have a video on this called How to Pray. But when you come out of this, imaginative experience, when you come out of this experience where you experience the end, where you occupied the end, where you assumed the end, but then you open your eyes again and you're back to your current circumstances, it is as though you are shown the happy and successful end of a play, although you are not shown how that end is achieved, right? Simple example, right? You want to manifest a vacation. So you can imagine that you already stand on the beach. I did this just recently. I imagined, myself laying on the beach and feeling the sand going through my hands and the warm sand. So I didn't imagine, driving to the airport, going into the plane, driving to the hotel, and then walking to the beach. No, I instantly, internally went to the beach, because that implied for me I'm on this great vacation that I wanted to be at, in the exact location and exact hotel that I wanted to be at. Right? But how exactly this was going to play out, I didn't care. If it was this, private shuttle service that is taking me to the hotel, or this plane, I didn't care. I wanted to be at the end. So I just internally placed myself in the end and not worried about the how. So I was shown the end state, right, the end experience, but I didn't were shown the how this was achieved. Right? This is the amazing thing of this law, right? If we use this from the premise that imagining creates reality, then we don't have to worry about all the details, all the steps in between. We simply go straight to the end of what we want, and everything in between is literally taken care of for us. And if our action is necessary, we will be moved in such a way that we can't resist it, that we just will do. Other people will take in their role to perfectly express the state that we occupied. However, having witnessed the end, right, like I did, also with other desires, like a lot of my clients did, regardless of any anticlimactic sequence. So it might be that you occupy the end, but then, you get a cancellation on your flight. You get a cancellation on your train ticket. You lose your job. The partner is reaching out and says, hey, I want to pause, whatever it is. If you remain calm and secure in the knowledge that the end has been perfectly defined, it will manifest. Meaning, things in between can happen that might seem, things are not going my way. Right, things seem to get worse, but you have only two options. Option A is that you get sucked into these circumstances and you basically take your cue from these circumstances, and then you're back in the old state, and obviously then you delayed your manifestation or even pause it, things will not manifest, or you let the facts be the facts, you let the circumstances be the circumstances, but you remain calm and you go consciously back, you maneuver back in the wish fulfilled, where it is natural, where you do have it, so that eventually you don't care about these circumstances. You don't feel reacting. You're not triggered, because you know who you are. You know what state you're in. That is your true nature internally. And there you can see that it only matters where you stand within. I can internally stand in financial abundance. There can be a economic, disaster. There can be a pandemic. There can be this and that. But as long as I remain in that state, it still will express through whatever way. So it's only about the state that you're in internally, okay? So I hope that this quote made sense. Definitely let me know in the comments down below if you have questions on that, if that was clear to you, what you think about this quote, if you have other, quote suggestions. And also you may notice that right now I'm in a circle image, so I changed my recording style a little bit. I hope you like that too. And other than that, I look forward to speak to you in the next week's quote. And if you want to learn more, check out the two links that I always provide in the video description and in the pinned comments, which is my free masterclass. It's free. You just enter your name and email. You then also get notified in future videos that I upload, and you can watch that free masterclass. It's very insightful about how to manifest your goals, live self-empowered, live freely. And if at one point you say that, wow, what you share on this channel and these quotes and these videos and these topics, they resonate with me. I also want to understand this life principle better and apply it in my life to manifest my goals, to reach the next level. If this is in your relationship, if this is in your financial situation, if this is in your business situation, in your health, then reach out, just apply for a free call, and we talk together and see if we are a good fit. That's the second link in the description. And with that, I assume all the best for you. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.